What's happening, good people? Welcome to Where's His Watch Room. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at the Pagani PD-1731. So I actually picked this up during the last sales because I wanted to check out this new offering. You can find a link down in the description to this one if you're interested. So we're going to be doing this one a little bit different. This is actually the first video I'm doing with the style you guys wanted me to, the waffle. So we're bringing the off-the-cuff reviews back, and we might do scripting, you know, every now and then when I think a watch warrants it, but most of them, if not all, are going to be this sort of style, just off the cuff and just pretty much whatever pops into the old noggin. So yeah, this is what we're taking a look at, and of course we know we're still going to do things in an orderly-ish manner, and you know, we're going to talk, you know, things and keep the sort of flow, but yeah, we'll see how it pans out. So anyway, we'll start off with the sizes of this one first, and then of course we'll get into a little bit more detail. So diameter wise, we're looking at 38mm with a crown, so that goes up to 48.7. Lug to lug, so of course here to here, is 44.7. Thickness 12.3, and that's actually my first thing I want to address, the thickness. Now I have measured from the top of the bezel to the underside of the case, and it is thinner, so of course this crystal is taking up a lot, so keep that in mind. It is thick, but a fair amount of it is the protruding top hat crystal, so yeah, just bear that in mind. Lug width is a bog standard 20mm, which is always nice to see, and the crown is 5.4mm, so not a half bad size. The case is stainless steel. Now I don't really know if it's 316L. I'm presuming it probably will be, but you know, you never know for certain. Crystal, you know, we've mentioned, you can just see it right there. It is a top hat sapphire, which is always nice to see. We don't get any AR coating, as you can see though. You know, that always would be nice, but this is one of Pagani's more affordable offerings, so I can understand why they've perhaps not have included AR on this one. Now we do have a screw down crown, but more on that later, and a screw down case back, which again I'll discuss a little bit later on in the review. Water resistance is claimed 100 meters, which is pretty good actually for this style of watch. And then we have a genuine leather strap, but again more on that in a little bit. 68 gram there, which is nice and lightweight. And then we do have a little tiny slither of loom on those hands, which we'll discuss in a little bit. So let's, you know, do a deeper dive. I know it's not a dive watch, but you know, into what this watch is all about. And the first thing that I really want to address is that crystal. I mean, it is a top hat sapphire like we mentioned, but it's very nice, and I think it suits the watch well, although it does of course add to that thickness, but that doesn't really sort of impact its wearability, which again we'll talk about in a bit, because a lot of it, like I said, is that crystal. But another thing that I do like as well is the brushed bezel. Now it's not something you usually see from Pagani. Usually they do high polish everything, but I think it does make it look nice. Bit of a surprise. The top of the lugs are also brushed, and the brush quality is really good. You know, it's nice and smooth, it's quite neatly done. So yeah, I've got no real complaints on that front, and again I think the brushing just adds that little bit of an extra refinement air to it. The sides are high polish, and I've lost my cloth, so just 1 second, I'll get a wipe. So yeah, high polish sides, got a nice downturn to those lugs. You can see, you know, it's a bit sort of slab sided, but we do have this nice curvature in the middle where we've got the separate bezel and you know, the mid case. But yeah, the polishing is done to a pretty good standard. You can actually see the reflection quite clearly of my camera, and you can see the light up in this top corner up here. So yeah, it's quite a good finish. You can also see me there. Hello. And yeah, it's pretty good. This side, you know, again, I'll just get a little clean because it's thing. Yeah, that's the big issue with high polish washes in it. I mean, it looks nice, but it's a nightmare to keep clean. But yeah, we've got that screw down crown with the etched finish, and then we've got that Pagani logo right there. And you know what? It's nicely done, and I think it suits the watch. So looking at this dial a little bit more, and I think I'm agreeing on some comments where they said those indices look a little bit sort of like shiny plastic. Now I'm not sure if they are metal or if they are indeed plastic. I'm not sure, but you know, we've got a double at the 12, 3, 6 and 9, and they've got this like sort of faceted shape to them, and like a little bit of beveling and stuff. So they do play with the light, as you can see, you know, really nicely. Single everywhere else, no date window in sight, so thank you for that. And then of course we've got that black printed minute track, which, you know, is pretty neatly done, no complaints there. The Pagani logo, which I'm actually really liking now, you know, before I was a little bit on the fence, but yeah, it's definitely growing on me. That is applied too, so again, always nice, you know, to see. One issue I'm having though with this watch is the dial colour. Now, I really wanted a nice, crisp, ivory colour, but this one has a bit more of a sort of really pale custard to it. Colour to it, and yeah, I just think it doesn't look sort of dirty, but it just gives it that little bit of a look to it, that like the ivory. It's like really crisp and clean looking. This just, yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me, the colour. There is other dial options available. There's an ice blue one and I think there's a green one, and I think they said they're bringing more colours out as well, so that won't be one to look out for. You can also see we've got the print in there of just the water resistance, and then right at the bottom it says Japan movement. So text is kept to a bare minimum, and I'm liking that, you know, it gives us more chance to see the dial. And I don't think watches like this really, oh, that's my phone going, and don't really warrant, you know, cluttered and really heavy text dials. I think this suits this style better. And I do like a lot of the aesthetics here, but it's just that dial colour. It's just really throws me off. And also those hands. They're a really sharp style. They're not Dauphine, because Dauphine have got that sort of line and then the beveled edges. This is a little bit more flat sword style. Slither loom. I think that slither loom really shouldn't have been there. I think they should have gone with a proper full Dauphine style hands. I think that would have, you know, matched the indices a little bit better, and I think it just would have looked a lot nicer, because at the minute I'm just not a fan. Second hand is blue, just a needle one. You know, it's nicely done, and the hands are well executed. It's just a loom really just sort of throws it off. So yeah, that's pretty much all we've got for that. We'll just take a quick look at the case back. You know, there's not really interesting on the back here. So you can see we've got the Pagani design and then their logo, bit of text, model number, high polish, and then a bit of design work in the centre. So again, you know, it's nothing fancy, but it's well done, and yeah, screw down. So what more can you want, really? So strap next. This is another little hit and miss for me, actually. So we've got this sort of bamboo-y style, and it's genuine leather. And I think, you know, obviously with the genuine leather, people think it's going to be really good quality, but not all leather is made equal. You know, there's different grades of leather, and this one is, I would say, is one of the lower grade ends. You know, you can see, you know, it's a little bit rigid. It's not the most flexible. We do have one fixed keeper, one floating keeper on this side. And then we've got a high polished sort of brace there, which holds the butterfly clasp. And this is something, you know, I'm actually really liking. Just let me clean it again, because, you know, high polish, guys. This is the reason why I think they should just brush everything, apart from accents. But yeah, high polish, it's just gets mucky really easy. You can see it's actually got a bit of a brushed element in the middle. High polish pushers, high polish sort of brace work. But the brushing, the polishing, I have noticed that it's a little bit, there's a few imperfections in it. I mean, I know it's a little bit mucky at minute, because, you know, I have been wearing this one quite a lot. But yeah, it's just got a few sort of imperfections in it, and a few like little marks and stuff in the actual polishing. And it's the same again on here. So you can see we've got some etched branding. I'll again just get a little bit of polish. But this has got some like little imperfections in it as well. And it just sort of takes away from the quality feel of it. A little bit of a downer. I do like the mechanism though. It's one of those, it's like lifts off. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, you can see, look. So it like lifts off. It's got a little nubbin thing in there. And that goes through the middle, closes down, and that clamps it in place. So you're free to sort of move it. And I find it a lot easier to put on than a traditional, you know, leather strap. It's a lot easier to get on and off. Because basically, you know, you just slide it on and thingy. The quality of the strap, like I mentioned, you know, it's not the best. Stitching's done pretty nice, cleanly cut holes. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's got that plasticky feel to it again, and it just sort of throws it off. Now you might be thinking, well, why didn't you just get the bracelet? Well, I've had enough of Pagani's bracelets to know that they're not the best. So I thought, do you know what? Let's give one of their straps a chance and see what it's like. And like I said, it's mixed bag. This, you know, apart from all the high polish, it's really nice. You know, I like the mechanism and I think it's very, very useful. But yeah, it's just not great in terms of the actual quality. Yeah, get rid of that. So yeah, let's get this on wrist, and we actually don't even need to thingy today. We just pop it on, and then you just sort of have to close the clasp, which you know, you do like so. Oh yeah, that is from another watch. I got injured, so I'll discuss that in the watches video. So you know, you just close that, and you see that's closed now, and then you just feed your strap through, and then you know that is so much easier. Apart from I can't do it because it's really difficult on camera, and there it is on wrist. And you know what, it's apart from it's just pinched my skin, there we go, it's actually not bad in terms of comfort. Now because you know the strap isn't the most supple, it isn't the softest, I was expecting it to be like really unbearable to wear, but do you know what, it's not bad. I mean, the sizing is nice, it's lightweight. And even though the strap isn't the most supple, isn't the most flexible, malleable, whatever you want to call it, it's not bad to wear. I've definitely had worse. Yeah, my skin's finger. Yeah, that's just from, like I said, the other watch, which I'll talk more about in a different video. But yeah, it's a nice watch to wear. You know what I mean? The profile's nice, you know, it hugs pretty well. So I think if you were really interested in this one, I'd probably upgrade the strap. But I definitely recommend, you know, looking for one with this mechanism because it's just so handy. And then to take it off, you know, you can see you've got the little pushers there. You just pop that, and then it's just so easy to just slip on and off. Way easier than a traditional thing. So I think from now on, if I can get a leather strap with this one, or if you can actually buy these to modify leather straps, I don't know if you can or not, then I definitely want to do that in the future because, you know, it's easy to do. And yeah, but as for this, it's lightweight, it's comfortable-ish, but I say yeah, you definitely need a better strap if this is going to be more of an occasional / daily wear. Right guys, so now we've got all that out of the way, let's talk movement. So this is using the Seiko VH31. We're all pretty much familiar with this movement now. You know, it's a mecha sweeping quartz. Really accurate though, negative to plus 15 seconds per month. So it's actually one of the more accurate, affordable movements out there. I think it's got 2 joules, 2-year battery life, which is awful, but more on that in a minute. And it uses an SR920SW battery if you need to swap it out, which you can do, because this chews through batteries like nobody's business. But yeah, the 2 years is probably the biggest downside of this movement. I think, you know, someone needs to develop a you know, higher capacity battery to really give this one a fighting chance to be, you know, an actual usable movement for a long time. Because 2 years, you know, if you don't know how to swap a battery, then, you know, after 2 years you're gonna be like, you know, I can't even be bothered. But if you do know how to swap a battery, then, you know, still every 2 years is a bit of an headache compared to like 4 or 5 as standard. So yeah, that is the biggest problem with this movement. The rest of it is brilliant. You know, it's great to use, which I'll show you in a second. That sweeping quartz, it's so nice, so nice. Just need better batteries to actually make the most use out of it, because that, again, biggest downside. So let's just show you how it works. You know, we've got screw down crown, really nice, good engagement, pretty good grip on this crown as well. Not the biggest, but you know, it's nice. So pop it out, and you see we've got a hack in, and then it's very, very smooth to use. No bumpy, horrible feedback. Just really nice, smooth action. You can see we do get a little bit of a wobble from the second hand, but you know, that's nothing major. But yeah, this crown, I have noticed, although it feels nice, it feels a little bit loose. It's got a little bit of a sort of a wobble to it. And I don't think it's going to come off. It just got like a bit of a loose feel. Re-engagement, you know, absolutely fine. No issue. You can just see how easy that's gone back in. But yeah, the movement, great. Just needs a bit of battery. So loom. I'm not even going to waste your time, guys. It's terrible. Pointless, in my opinion. They should have never included loom on this watch. Nice set of Dauphine hands. Jobs are good in. So now we'll move on to the final thing, the verdict. And you know what? I think this is a good little watch. It just needs a few things to make it better, in my opinion. I mean, the watch itself is really nice. I just wish that dial was not as yellow. I think they should have perhaps made it a little bit more ivory and just toned down the yellow a little bit. The strap, you know, it's got some good points. I do really like this mechanism. But the strap itself, I think, you know, it probably needs upgrading if you're going to wear this on a daily basis. It does need, you know, changing out if you're going to do that. Price-wise, we're looking at, let me see, 69 quid on this, and it's 78 on the bracelet. Now, I can't comment on the bracelet, but as for this on this strap, I think, you know what, the price is fair. It's not amazing, it's not terrible, I think it's a fair price. Could it be better? Of course it could. But I think it's a fair price. Not going to knock your socks off, and I would probably say, wait for the sale. If you really, really want one, there's a sale coming up, like all the time on AliExpress. They have them like every other week. So wait for that and see if, you know, it might get a 10, 15 quid knocked off. And you know, I think it's a good little everyday dress watch. Just you know, get it on a different strap, and of course, you know, ignore the loom as well, because yeah, it's useless. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this more off the cuff style of reviews. So I'll see you on the next one. If you want to see more content on the channel, click the links you can see right now. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that bell so you don't miss any future content, and of course, feel free to subscribe if you want to stay in touch with the channel. Thanks very much. Have a good one.